a lot of people are curious.
Oh God.
How high was that rope climb actually?
The rope, I think there was like a 15-foot rope.
It's at least 40 feet.
Oh, no. It looked like in the video. I was like, you made that look really high.
Yeah. Outside of the rope climb, what for you was actually like the scariest part of making this film?
Probably this. No, I mean, those of you that know me know that talking about myself and being the center of attention and sharing my personal life, personal story is not my comfort zone, to say the least. So I think just getting this message out, Cam, I don't see it, but he talked to me this week and he reminded me that the purpose of this was to bring out a good message, to provide some sort of positive influence to people. So putting in that frame and reminding me of why we did this in the first place is, I think, helps me go through this, but I think that's probably the scariest part of it.
Yeah, for sure. And so what, I think you kind of touched on it a little bit, but what are you hoping that, if someone watches this, what do you hope that they really walk away with?
I know we talked about this before. I don't know if there's one specific message. I think it's, what do you draw out of it? And hopefully every person that watches this takes some individual piece that changes or improves their life in some small fraction. And for me, I know we talked originally, that's the hope. I don't think it's not something that's going to be life-changing for a ton of people, but if there's one, gets you that 1 inch closer to what you want to do, what you want to accomplish, helps you overcome something, then for me that's a win. So I'm sure I draw something different out of it than maybe you, and I think you covered a lot of things, and that's my hope, is that in some way it's a positive impact for people.
Absolutely. And so what is something that you want people to know or understand a little bit better about just how your life has changed and how you've gotten to where you are now?
I mean, as far as my life, how my life has changed, it's kind of funny to think, but I honestly think now that I don't wish the experience on anybody, but the things that I've learned, the things that I appreciate now have allowed me to have, I think, a fuller life than I would have otherwise. And it's kind of scary to think. And I remember thinking so many times I'd see something like this or something that was like, oh, that's awesome. And it took this to allow me to see things in, I think, a different perspective. I think about an experience once in the hospital where it was like 2 weeks before I could take a shower. Because the sutures in my back, they had to get those out before you were allowed to take a shower. So I had these stupid wet naps that still, every time I smell them, it gives me like what's going on? But I remember this moment of like taking the shower and the water being on my face, and it must have been an hour shower, and I remember sitting there and like thinking that this is maybe the most incredible moment of my life so far, is like being able to sit here and just experience this thing that I've been thinking about for so long. And I think I've been able to translate that best I can, like life is life. But I think I've been able to step back a lot and just step back and appreciate a moment. And I have a lot of goals and a lot of things I want to accomplish in my life. And I think having this has allowed me to, much more than I ever have in my life, just step back and appreciate a moment, step back and appreciate the people that are around me and the people that have done so much for me, that I care about so much, and the experiences and all that. So for me, I think that's probably been the most impactful part thus far. Yeah, so you actually touched on it a little bit in the movie, but as much as I hated being in the hospital and the food was amazing, as much as I hated to be there and wanted so bad just to leave, it's this cocoon of safety that, like, you'd wake up at 7 a.m., the doctor would come check on you, you'd have rehab at 8, your breakfast would be there. There was no concern of, is it going to be ADA compliant, are there going to be stairs, are there going to be this or that or that. So it was this strictly regimented process, and as much as I loved the the bed that constantly moved and filled with air and occasionally deflated because the thing turned off, which is great. It was a regiment, and I knew the outcome. And so when I went back to Texas, also touched on like one of my best friends, Danny, like he ahead of time was there and made sure my house was all square to be taken care of when I got there. So I had so many people that allowed that transition to be smooth. And it was like a regimented process to some extent. And one of my challenges has been trying to get out of that, actually, of like being comfortable with the uncomfortable, of like not just living in this bubble of I know what the outcome is, and trying to work towards hey, went to Mexico City, and it's like, I don't know what's going to happen there. And it's definitely out of the regiment, but like that's one of the most incredible experiences in my life. So like you have to do that. So yes, regiment is comfortable, but I do my best to try and get out of it. Yeah, that's a good question. I think one of the things that we talked about, actually, the purpose of this was, I know when I was sitting in the hospital, you're sitting there and you're going on Instagram and you see all these stories about people being positive and all these great things and everyone being happy, and it's like, well, shit, I'm in a hospital, I'm in so much pain, and all I can think about is what I used to have, what I used to be. And for me, when we talked about this, was like, I want a story that you can see that there's positive outcomes, but it's not so easy. And so someone that is going through something that's difficult, whether it be an injury, which I don't wish on anybody, but just you're going through a difficult relationship, or you're going through something else that's tough, seeing that other people struggle through these things just like you are, but there are positive outcomes that can come from it. So for me, that was, I think, the most important part about it was being able to do that. Yeah, so Wings for Life, thank you again for everyone supporting that. It's actually, it's a charity that is solely focused on finding a cure for spinal cord injuries. It's actually from Red Bull. They support it financially, so they cover all administrative costs, all advertising costs, so every single dollar cent goes directly towards research projects for finding a cure for spinal cord injuries. And I think most of you, me prior to almost 3 years ago, knew nothing about it. And it's something that's definitely curable, and it's something that a lot of people are working really hard to find an answer to. But so Wings for Life is a really, really great organization that goes directly to support that. And they do a run every year, so if anyone wants to participate next year.
It's a little early.
A little early.
Fair warning.
It's almost next year. You guys got to see a few of the people that have impacted me so much and allowed me to get through that. I honestly don't. I hear comments about people saying like, "Oh, you're strong to get through this," but without people like you, Mom, and other people in my life, like I honestly don't know where I'd be if I didn't have that kind of support. But for me, just getting through the dark times, it was, I think, two things. One, less of an obsession and a focus on what you had, what you lost, what could have been, and more of a focus on the now and what you can do, and trying to get out of your comfort zone and work out again. Winchester talked about it, but for me, I think one of the darkest times is after the injury and then being back home and seeing all the people I knew, seeing like the life I used to have, and being scared to be a part of it again. Just focusing on like rehab and saying, I can't go back to the gym. I can't do the things that made me happy. But when I really got out of what was my comfort zone and started doing it again, and was willing to embarrass myself and struggle and all that, a lot of joy and a lot of happiness came for that. And I think where I am now, where I hope to be tomorrow, a year from now, 10 years from now, is from being willing to get outside of that comfort zone. And I think that's where you get out of that dark place.
If I can can add on to that. So Mino, I knew Mino in Austin, and that's where we first met. And so I knew Carl was doing sports documentaries, and Mino just kept coming to my mind. I'm like, you've got to meet my friend Mino. And the cool thing about Mino is that I had seen so evidently that he doesn't live from a place of deficiency. He doesn't live a place of, I'm now without or I'm now less than, and he found a way to be more than with what he had. And that was the story that I really wanted to tell, was how many of us, whatever it is that we're going through in that struggle, is that we can see it from a place of deficiency. But if you actually see it with what you have, what you can make with what you have, and that can be a really beautiful thing. And so Mino's always been someone who's just encouraged me from afar. And so I think that's something you've done so brilliantly, is to make something, what you have, so beautiful and so inspiring. And I think that the story tells that so evidently. And yeah, so I just wanted to add that.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that's a good question. I think the one thing that I think I appreciated the most was being seen as and treated as who I was before. And I know I'm guilty of it before the injury. You see someone that's in a situation that's different from where they were before, and it's oh my gosh, are you okay? And like, you're treating them differently. And I know for me, all I wanted desperately was just to be approached and just to be treated just like I was before. Like, you see me, you come say hi. It's not, oh, are you all right? What's going on? And da-da-da. And that's something I was I think never aware of before, because you want to be someone that's approaching them and careful, and you're thinking about it and all that. But I realized that when I was around the people that were closest to me, it was just like, yes, it's Mino. Like, you used to hit me on the shoulder when you said hi before, like, you still do it. And so for me, I think that would be, I don't know that everyone's the same. We're all different, but for me, I know just being treated as you were before, and you talk shit to me and you made jokes before, like, don't stop. I run my mouth, you run my mouth. Keep doing it. Yeah. Thank you, Sal. Yeah.
I just wanted another question. It's more of a thank you. You've inspired me, and just keep coming in here and keep pushing through whatever excuse I might have to stay home and not want to do anything. You actually are one of my inspirations to keep coming through, especially after what I went through.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
No.
You've done more to me than I could ever just. So thank you.
Thank you, brother. And you inspire me too. Thank you very much.
Well, let's give it up for Mino.
I want to thank all of you for coming out. It means the world to see everyone out here, and man, I don't have words for it, but thank you all so much for the support. Big Suze, you are my light. Thank you so much. Thank you, man. Anything else? I'm good. Any questions? All right.
All right, that's it. Go grab some beer.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, brother. That was awesome.